I thought we'd take a little look at my YouTube studio. We're in weird times at the minute and a lot of people are stuck in their houses, and I know some want to make videos, so I thought I'd just show you where and how I make my videos for Ukulele Wales and Ukulaliens channel. I'm not going to go into too much technical detail. I'll show you some of the equipment I use and you'll see the space that I use as well, and maybe a couple of hints and tips on making your own videos. Right, so welcome to Ukulele Wales HQ. I do most of my filming in this room, which I'll show you around in a minute. I actually do all the video editing and making the play-along videos for Ukulaliens channel downstairs on my PC. But this music studio here, and it has been a music studio for many years, way before I started making YouTube videos. I've sort of kitted it out a little bit specifically for filming. Okay, so this video here is showing you the camera that I do most of my filming on. In fact, I've just done the intro on this. It's a camcorder, okay. Ooh, look at that. Me, filming me, and so on. It's not the most expensive camcorder. I have added an external microphone to it, and it does improve the sound, but when I first had the camcorder, I just used it with the internal mic built in. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is swap back onto that camera there, because it'll be a bit better quality. Right, so just to give you a little idea, this is probably the corner of the room you very rarely see. So over here, we've got my little mini ukulele rack that my husband miniaturized, especially for ukuleles. And then I've got a nice iPad or a tablet stand by there that I use to take out for uke club. Okay, and we've got a few bass guitars. Yeah. Alright, now I'm going to try and do this slowly. So we've got a few ukuleles hanging on the wall, including my new Nick West. Go and check out the unboxing video for that. Okay, so trying to do this as slowly as possible. There's the tripod that you just saw a minute ago with this camera on it, the camera I'm using now, but this is how I actually started out, by just putting my phone on a little holder. Okay, you really do need to try and have something stable to put your phone on. It could be a little desk holder or a tripod like this. The attachment at the top, okay, if I go down this way quite carefully, didn't cost much at all. Alright, and it just sits on top of the tripod, and then normally just below where I'm actually filming from, I've normally got my, let me just switch that on so you can see it, my iPad. Okay, so if I'm having to follow a play along video for a tutorial, it'll be on there, or any scripts that I need. Right, I'll come back to lighting in a minute. It does make a huge difference. Right, I will come back to this wall in a minute because it is actually quite important. Right, this corner of my studio here. Now, this has actually looked pretty much the same for a number of years. I'm a music teacher, so you can see the MIDI keyboard plugged in. I'm using a little Mac Mini in the corner over there with a USB audio box on there, so I can plug ukuleles or microphones in, which then connect up to my studio monitors. I run GarageBand and I run Mixcraft, hence why I've got the two computers running at the same time. The one thing I have changed about this corner is I added, and this is since I started making videos, I've added the LED strip lights, and you know, I've got my remote control here. I can just change the colour of the corner Okay, so that's quite nice when you're making videos. Just something a little bit different. They weren't expensive. They like sticky tape and they stick on the back of the monitors to give that really cool effect. So that's this little corner here, my chair where I'm often sat on making the videos. Right, so the next section of the studio we'll take a little look at is my workbench. Okay, right, first of all you can see there's my phone. I have moved it and it's on a little desktop holder now. Alright, so that's very useful for if I'm making any films on the workbench. I'm also going to point out my little earbuds there. I use those when I'm making the play along tutorials so I can actually hear when I'm playing along to a video. Okay, so if I'm making a video about, the recent one I did the other day, I can't remember what I did now. Oh yes, strap buttons. Right, putting the strap buttons on. But if I'm going to change strings, this is where all of that happens. It's not always the tidiest of areas. My really cool uke lights. I'm just going to carefully pan it for a minute because I do store a couple of ukulele cases at the top. Oh, my friend Vicky. Without Vicky, Ukulaliens and then Ukulele Wales probably wouldn't exist. Alright, she's one of the teachers in my school. She made me that for Christmas. And she helped found the Ukulaliens. Okay, in fact she actually came up with the name. So Vicky, if you see this, there's your shout out. Okay, and another little case and we come back down. So that's my workbench area. And then if I go down below, like any other music room in the world, you end up with way too much stuff. Alright, you see some YouTube studios and they're immaculate. I wouldn't be able to keep this room immaculate. It's a workroom at the end of the day, and I'm just trying to make it possible to film in here as well. Okay, one of the first things I learned when I started making these videos was how important lighting is. Now, it really doesn't matter how good a quality camera you've got or how good your phone is at making videos. If your lighting isn't good enough, it will not look good. Okay, now I'm going to try and do this because I don't know how it'll come out on the video. Alright, this is the main light that I use. There we go, it's an LED ring light. I can't remember if I got it off Amazon or eBay. It wasn't massively expensive, but there are. If I show you the window, it's really quite dark up there now. There's very little natural light coming in. So you do have to think about your lighting when you're making videos. Okay, now I showed you this wall a minute ago and it looked quite different. Suddenly, there is this big green thing on it. Alright, now that's what I stand in front of when I'm filming the play along tutorials, because obviously I just appear in front of the play along video. Okay, so it's a fold away green screen. Now, just to give you an idea of how important light is, I'm actually going to turn my big LED ring light down for a minute. You'll see what happens with the quality of the picture. Alright, that is just normal light in the room. I turn it back up and you'll see the actual picture quality, hopefully anyway, improve. So lighting, if you are going to make videos, is really important. A few more lighting tips. There we are. So there's another tripod has suddenly appeared. This is where this corner of the room is, and it's got an LED panel light on it. Now, I bought one of these to start with as my main light source, but quickly discovered that it wasn't going to be enough. So if you're filming in front of a green screen, I'm just turning this on now. There we are. So there's one over that side, and suddenly you can see the green screen is lit up. And I'm just going to do the same with the other one, is turn it on. Okay, if you are filming in front of a green screen, if the light isn't good enough, it can't cut out the green, okay? Now, I know most people aren't filming in front of a green screen, but these are just some of the little things that I've learned since doing it, all right? Just how important the lighting itself is. And in fact, if you look above, there's another little LED light that I use sometimes with my webcam. Okay, so just one more little pan round the room so you can see, as I said before, it is a working music room, and anybody who has a music room knows they're virtually impossible to keep really nice and neat and tidy. Okay, you are. There's my electric double bass and electric cello over there. Okay, little amps, one of those featured in my recent video on how to use electric ukuleles. There is a little rack, panning round to the ukes on the wall and back to the door. I do hope you enjoyed that. Maybe it's inspired some of you to make your own videos, or has answered some questions you've had. It's a bit of fun. Or maybe you're just really nosy like me and like looking around other people's houses. If you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to drop them below. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos. Thanks for watching.